Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is another reaction video, and today I'm reacting to a story. I was transferred from high school to primary school, so I don't think this is gonna be interesting, but let's just try it and let's just jump into it.
Hi everyone, my name is Jerry, and I want to share with you a story that completely changed my life and my future. Instead of graduating from school and entering university, I was forced to return to the elementary school and start studying again. No, I am not stupid at all. The thing is that a really terrible story has happened to me. It occurred on a regular day. As usual, I came to school, attended a couple of boring lessons. When it was time for lunch, I went to the canteen with my friends. Going down the stairs, I accidentally stumbled
Canteen is
and
like
flew
cafeteria, I
head
think.
over heels. I had an extremely bad fall and hit my head hard against
Why
the
do
floor.
I think that she's
After
gonna be
that,
in coma
everything
later?
went dark and I lost consciousness. I came to my senses in the hospital, being surrounded by doctors and nurses. I felt really bad, had a horrible headache, was seeing double, and it was hard for me to think. I felt much more comfortable when my parents entered the room. I noticed how their faces fell as they were worried about me so much. They seemed to become 10 years older.
Oh my god.
According to the doctors, I had stayed in the hospital for 3 days being unconscious,
And
but waking up from time to time and then falling asleep again. I had a concussion, which was the reason for all my headaches, double vision, weakness, lodginess, and other unpleasant symptoms. Soon I was discharged from the hospital, and as usual, I went to school. Having entered my classroom, I was really embarrassed when I saw totally unfamiliar children watching me in astonishment. I was running around the school for more than half an hour looking for my classmates and peeping through every door, but I did not come across any familiar faces. When the bell rang and all the students went into classrooms, I
lost
stood
her
alone in
memory.
a corridor, like a complete fool, not knowing where to go. The situation was saved by the headmaster, who appeared out of nowhere, and while scolding me, he decided to take me to the classroom on his own. Without any objections, I followed him and was really surprised when I realized that he was taking me to the high school wing. It was very weird, because in our school, we always adhered to strict rules regarding junior and senior classes. We studied separately, and we were not allowed to enter each other's territory. The headmaster brought me to the chemistry room. I was looking with interest at the teacher wearing a white coat, as well as different cones on his desk and a lot of incomprehensible formulas on the blackboard. Without understanding anything, I was looking at the guys sitting in the classroom.
Looks like she lost her memory.
I could not believe my eyes. My classmates
Last
were
few
sitting
years.
at their desks. So what's wrong with that, you may think? The thing is that they were older than their age. I had the feeling that I was in the future. In addition, I didn't know some of the students at all. Suddenly, I got a terrible headache and lost consciousness again. I spent the next few days in the hospital, where the doctors gave me a disappointing diagnosis. First of all, they conducted some unknown examinations and then showed me several weird photos. I recognized my friends, relatives, and acquaintances in these pictures, but I had no idea where and when these pictures had been taken. After this short checkup, the doctors gave me a diagnosis. It was amnesia. My parents were horrified to learn that I had forgotten the
She lost
last
her
6
memory.
years of my life.
6
My
years.
latest memory was graduation from elementary school. I did not remember anything that was next at all. Doctors advised me to go back to school and try to recover the lost memories, as well as look through the photos or reread messages in social networks. And
Right now, because of this coronavirus, like the school is cancelled, right? We have online lessons, but there was this theory that this class would not count this year and we would be in the same grade next year. So that was so disappointing that we needed to learn 1 year more than we should, and that made me like mad because I did not want to do that. And this girl needs to go back 6 years, not 1, not 2, but 6. I can't believe how disappointing that would be. Let's continue.
diaries talk to my friends, and so on. In short, I had to do everything that could help to restore everything that I had forgotten. But I could not even imagine what problems this would bring to me. First of all, I decided to chat with those girls whom I remembered. In childhood, we were best friends, and I was sure that nothing had changed since then. I came to school early on purpose to tell them about my amnesia in person. In response, they looked at each other in a weird manner, and then smiled radiantly, promising to help me restore my memory. A few
Something
minutes
fishy
later,
is
I
going.
was locked up in the pantry and asked them to let me out, while my friends were laughing behind the door and then just left. My classmates let me out of the pantry. They turned out to be my real friends for several years now. As it appeared later, I had an argument with those girls a long time ago, and since then they had always tried to screw me over. I felt really depressed. This was how I lost my best friends in one day. And I didn't know any new ones, as they were not present in my childhood. We met only in high school, but I just don't remember anything about it. While sitting in the classroom, I realized that apart from forgetting my new friends, I did not remember the school material at all. Mathematics and physics were a living hell for me, not to mention chemistry. There were hundreds of unknown numbers and equations.
And she
My
probably
classmates
had
did their
them
best to help me restore my memory.
learned.
They even came up with a plan called Recall Everything. They took me to memorable places and
Like,
told me different stories.
this is so bad because like you have memorized some stuff that is so hard to memorize, and some people even can't memorize it, and you just magically don't remember it because you fail, and you don't know who are around you, and you just remember who were around you, but they betrayed you and you don't remember that. So you try to be their friend, and this happens again, and you just like 6 years. What happened in 6 years? She does not remember. Like these 6 years are just 6 years is a lot of time. Even 1 year is a lot of time. Like she does not remember her birthdays, friends, also school materials, like stuff that happened. So these guys are really like supportive because right now they're taking her to places that might help her recognize her memories and remember those 6 years. So this is pretty nice. Let's continue.
We watched films that we had once seen in the cinema, but this did not help at all. Once
That's
in the
unfortunate.
canteen, some guy came up to me and just rudely hugged me. He said that he was my boyfriend and was very upset after realizing that I did not remember him as well. I was very surprised. It turned out that I've had a boyfriend all this time. But how did I meet him?
I have a
Why did I
feeling
fall in love
that
with him?
he's lying.
I didn't remember anything at all, not
I don't
even
know,
his
I
name.
just have that feeling.
I told him about this right away, and this made him really upset. He introduced himself as Steve and said that we had been dating only a couple of months, so he did not mind starting everything from scratch. I could not refuse him. I kept thinking about the fact that I used to love this person. That's why when Steve invited me on a date, I agreed without hesitation. The date was just horrible.
Nice girls.
Not only did Steve constantly use abusive words while speaking, talk only about himself, and even kick the cat lying in his way, he also constantly tried to kiss me. I didn't like this at all, so I asked my parents that very evening if they knew anything about my boyfriend. My parents sighed sadly and said that in the last few months before the amnesia, we were arguing and did not speak frankly at all. I was really embarrassed because in my memory, my parents and I always had great relationships. I could not even imagine that someday I would argue with them. I didn't want to tell my new friends about Steve. Yes, they let me out of the pantry and told me they were my friends, but now I actually don't know them at all. This was why I went on dates with Steve a couple.
Yeah, but if they were her friends, they would know about Steve. Like her mother did not know about Steve because she did not tell her, but she would tell her friends. Like I think your mom and parents basically are your best friends, so you tell them everything. and if you don't, you're not close enough to do so. So I don't think that it is possible for her friends to not know who Steve is if he is not lying. And also right now, if she does not see those guys as her friends, she has to tell them. She can't just pretend that she does, because it's I know she has a lot of things in front of her, and she has been through a lot of things, but they have too. Maybe they did also. So this is gonna hurt them if they find out without her telling them. And the Steve, if she doesn't like Steve, she needs to tell him. Or I think things are gonna go deeper and deeper and more serious. And he might just propose to her by ring and everything. And she does not wanna to marry him. Or she does not even love him or anything like that. I'm going pretty far, but this is a possibility, you know. So I think she should tell Steve that she does not like him if she really does not like him. And she could tell her friends that she does not remember him, so remember them. So she wants to get to know them better. And if she thinks that they are not good people, she can say that I don't think you're a good person. I don't want to be your friend. I know I was your friend, but now I have my own mind, my own peace of mind, and I want to share it with you. Because I don't want you to be upset when things go serious and I'm not sure about you. So I think that's the way to go. But let's just continue.
More times. During each of our meetings, I felt that he did not care about me. He was speaking only about himself and was not interested in me at all. He didn't ask anything about my amnesia, and he didn't even try to help me restore my lost memories. Then I decided that it was time to bring this relationship game to the end, and told Steve about it. He got so angry that he started yelling at me while telling me that I was stupid and calling me names. I ran away in fear and promised myself never to deal with him again. However, I still wanted to know the truth about Steve, so I had no choice but to ask my new friends about him. As it turned out, once he really was my boyfriend, but we were dating for no more than a week. Our relationship was over when Steve hit me during one of our quarrels. And now, upon learning about my amnesia, he just decided to take advantage of the fact that I did not remember anything and tried to regain the convenient girlfriend.
I knew it.
After this incident, my friends were always there and warned me about everyone who could harm me and take advantage of my trust. I began to communicate more closely with them and realized how wonderful they were. They were kind, honest, and attentive. I no longer had any doubts about them. We became best friends again.
This is exactly what you said.
Real best friends. Time was passing by, but I did not manage to recover my memories. When it was time for the final exams, everyone understood that I would not be able to pass them. For a couple of months, I just could not restore everything that I'd been studying for 6 years.
You probably
Considering this, a very difficult decision was made. I was supposed to be transferred to the 5th grade because it was the point at which I had my last memories. There was no sense for me to graduate from school because I would not have been able to study in the university in any case. I had to say goodbye to my classmates and best friends. They all finished school and entered universities.
That's sad.
But I was forced to stay at school. Now, I just have to get acquainted with the new class, and I'm terribly worried. I'm afraid that I won't be able to make new friends, that they will start laughing and making fun of me. After all, I'm older than them by as much as 6 years. I am a kind of retired